I might seem big, but in fact I'm much smaller than all of these guys in here, and I really find great inspiration in the stories they've shared with us already. It's gonna work? All right, there you go. Okay, I came to the UK in 2007, and essentially my background is I used to be an English teacher, so it's a totally different story to possibly everyone else in here. It's kind of a confusion mixed with knowing where I'm heading, so sort of having my vision of wanting to help others, but it wasn't matching with my lifestyle that I had at the time. I was teaching English as a second language, and my students weren't listening to me, so I thought, well, let me go and kind of redesign my career around something else I liked doing at the time, and that was then training others. So I went back to college, I decided to go and become a personal trainer, and that's when my story started. And essentially, little did I know that when you're a personal trainer and you walk out on the stage, sorry, blah, 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 oh, it could be a stage as well, on the gym floor, we have to go and start selling ourselves. My manager came up to me and she said to me, there's a little task for you over here. Go up to all the members in the gym now and start asking them, well, what's your fitness goal? Get a conversation going over then and have them signed up for the sessions. And I thought like, oh, what the fuck now I'm gonna do? Because like, honestly, I closed myself in the locker room for 15 minutes and I thought, well, it's gonna be challenging now because I have to come up and have to start talking to members now. I wasn't taught at any of the courses. So I made it. I went to the members. I had about a 5-minute conversation with everyone, and I started giving out free sessions. I tried to get myself busy. It worked out well, kind of. So let's essentially, I was living in Manchester at the time. My revenue was extremely low, so you're looking at about £400 a month. It's nothing. You can't make a living with that, because I didn't know how to sell myself. And I didn't know anything about business, anything about marketing. It started gradually going up to the point where I thought, well, okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to compete. I'm going to do a bodybuilding competition, and I'm going to try to see and challenge myself. So I prepared myself for a competition. I remember quite clearly that on Sunday I had my big day, and I had torn my quad on Monday. On Thursday, I had swelled up to the size of a pumpkin, so I couldn't walk. And I went to the hospital, and they said to me, well, you're going to get operated now. So that was Friday. On Sunday, I had my competition, so I looked fantastic, ripped over there on the bed, but they said to me, we have to operate on you. So my profits went down for 3 weeks. I had no money. I had my friends, so fortunately, but I was on my own in the UK. I didn't want to call up my parents. I didn't want to ask them, like, listen, can you lend me a couple of grand now? Because I'm stuck. I don't know what to do with my life. And had no knowledge of sales, no knowledge of business, how to run my own personal training business, no knowledge how to live back again. I saw somehow, when I was on the hospital bed, I grabbed a lot of sales books and a lot of business books, and I tried to go and educate myself, think like, what can I do actually to go and restart my business? I went back to the same gym, so that was 1 month later, and I started kind of picking up my old clients over there, and I thought, let me go and try to go and challenge myself now. I've got enough experience in order to go and move on to a bigger city, so I came to London. But, you know, it was a big city, it was more personal trainers, it was more competition, it was much busier, and I thought, well, fuck it, I'm stuck again. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do again now, I'm going to compete again, and let me have a look. This time I'm going to go and try to go and avoid going to hospital. So I did my first bodybuilding competition, that was in 2011, and I got noticed nationally in the south of the UK, and then later on, I scored 3rd place in the national competition, and that got me quite a lot of audience online. So I started having free personal trainings, free kind of training videos. I had 1 million clicks altogether. My revenue went sky high. I opened a Facebook fan page. I had about 10,000 fans over there on Facebook. I had a Twitter account, about 500 people altogether. It lasted for a couple of months altogether, but then everything went down straight afterwards. So I thought is that essentially I knew kind of where I was heading. I needed my vision to be properly molded, but I didn't have that, so I was lacking the resources. So all the time I was kind of trying to go and climb up the mountain, I was falling down. And that was the occurrence over there that happened in Manchester, and similarly it happened in London as well. I went up, I went down. I had the audience over there, I didn't know what to do with that. So that was last year, essentially, in December, that I was on the verge of kind of quitting my career. So I thought, like, I'm going to have to start doing something totally different, because I was earning about 2-3 grand a month over there at the time. It's not enough to survive in London. So you need a bit more money over there, you need a bit more resources, and I didn't know where to go. So I thought then, at the end of last year, that 2013 is going to be a make or break. So I'm either going to make it or not. And one way of making it was essentially to start going to different courses and start educating myself more as a personal trainer, because I thought I'm going to start picking up the sales like so. So among others, I started doing a course with PTA Global, with a couple of other companies as well. But then I thought, okay, let's go to FitPro conference, to Loughborough, and see what they can give me. And it's the same story like with you guys, you know. There was an American company over there called MPE, and I was very hesitant over there to go and attend any of those courses. And I didn't know where to go, but I missed one of my classes, and Sean was giving out a lecture at the time, so I thought, I'll just have a look. I went and then I signed up on the course straight away. They gave enough value for me in order to go and think that actually they can make a change for me, and I can make a change with them as well. So essentially, that's kind of my timeline over here. So everything before was the pre-NPE, and that was the chaos. What NPE started bringing in here was a vision and kind of a sense of reality of what I can have, what I can achieve, who I can be, and how I can leverage on all the online audience and all the audience I have and managed to acquire in the back couple of years. So I signed up on the EA course, and I loved it, and I was really hungry for the knowledge they were giving me. So I tried to go and jump up to the VIP straight away, and I was buzzing them and calling them and saying to them, listen guys, I want to go and get to know more. I want to have a bit more knowledge. And I went on the VIP. I remember that before I say that, is that I actually went on a holiday in the end of May, and I think that was Yara at the time when I messaged her and said to her, please put my application on hold because I really want to go ahead with the VIP course, but I won't be able to start replying to any of the emails, to attend any of the exams now for the next couple of weeks because I'm on holiday, but I'm still eager to go ahead with that. So I did. In end of May, I signed up on the VIP course, and that's essentially where things started coming up all together for me. So I had my, I think it's the next slide, I had my vision molded. I knew what was important for me, so I set up a personal training company that I called Shape Up. And that's essentially what I started working with. And ever since I decided to go and try with NPE and start letting them be my personal trainer, start coaching me and telling me what's right, what's wrong, and what works for others, that's what will work for you as well, I came up with an idea of this over here. And essentially these are my stats that would happen since June, since the VIP, is my revenue went up by 100%. So it was oscillating around £3,000 a month, which wasn't a lot at the time. So now I'm ranking up about £7,000 a month altogether. My net profit over here went from 30% in May to 71% in the end of July, 77% in the end of August. So I started taking in more and more and more. That's the coaching essentially that was provided with. So that's how it showed. But essentially what I started doing at that time as well, I took all the auto-close and all the duplicator principles and the deep core as well, and I started implementing it in the online coaching. So I actually use the auto-closer to convert the online clients onto actual personal training clients as well, and that gives a bit more of a residual income that enables me then to think a bit more ahead, where my vision is actually to open a personal training studio and to open a kind of personal training cafe as well. So that's where I'm heading, and that's what the NP is providing me with, within all the principles of the autocloser, duplicator, and the deep core. And essentially, ever since I employed 2 other personal trainers, I have to mention here that I work for Fitness First, so it's still kind of illegal for me to go and do that. But it works out well. Those 2 personal trainers in there, they weren't very busy. I was too busy, so I couldn't take any more clients on board. So I just pushed all of my clients onto my personal trainers, and I still coach them within my own company over here that's called Shape Up. I employed a virtual assistant, so pretty much it's a virtual business as well, which is, I've got a lady over there who answers all my phone calls, and she also maintains my calendar. I have an accountant now. I have a PR agency, and what they do for me, they maintain my Twitter account and my Facebook account. I do not have time personally in order to go and reply to all the emails now and to reply to all the Twitter comments. So essentially, they start dealing with all my online side of the business. And also what I have now is a cleaner in my house now because I don't have time to go and spend any time in the house. So she comes in here and she's lovely, yeah? So she irons all the clothes and I really love her to bits. I can recommend her later. My deep core, this is quite a good lesson that I essentially have learned over here from MP because I started putting everything in the right drawers, so starting to kind of segregate all the information and working everything in bits and in small steps. And I started writing articles for a bodybuilding magazine called The Beef, and for Outfit Corner, I also submitted articles to bodybuilding.com. Another big thing essentially that came up within the NP Times was that I started writing articles for a lifestyle magazine called Via Luci magazine, and I'm actually getting paid for that. So I'm taking £1,000 a month over here, which is something quite unusual in this industry. But that's what I've learned over here, that if I have the right vision, and if I put things in the right order, and then things will start falling in. So I see myself now what's going to happen in the next 3, 4, or 5 years, and I'm heading towards that. And I've also started designing an online coaching program, an online coaching campaign, and there's a product launch coming up in January. The websites are launching next week, and all I want to say essentially is that without that vision, without being with NP, I wouldn't have got where I am now over here, which is essentially a launch of a big campaign that's coming online. That's hopefully it's going to start bringing a couple of extra million of viewers over there. So I want this video over here to go viral, and what I'm inspired by is this. Thank you.